What's up, everybody? Martha Cross 316 coming back with you with another artist spotlight. Today we are going to be featuring the artwork on Marvel Team Up issue number 17. This was a recent pickup. I featured this in a recent haul that I just did, and I noticed that the artist on this book is none other than the great Gil Kane. He did a number of issues on Marvel Team Up, as well as back in the early 70s on Amazing Spider-Man, especially with that classic issue of issue 101 featuring the first appearance of Morbius. Lord knows that I would love to have that issue one day, but this was one of the issues that I own featuring Gil Kane, and I'm going to demonstrate in this video some of the key characteristics of Gil Kane's artwork, some pointers that you need to look for when you are reading a book that he contributed on. So yes, this is a classic book, January of 1974. Spider-Man teams up with Mr. Fantastic fighting the Mole Man. It was such a great read. I actually read this for myself. We have Len Wein at the time. He was writing on this book. And of course, this is the guy that we will be focusing on today, Gil Kane. Gil Kane is an artist that has been growing on me for a number of years. At first, I thought his artwork was a little wonky. I've always been a big John Romita Sr. fan when it comes to Spider-Man. But as time passes and I've been collecting more and more, I have grown to appreciate the artwork and the mastery of the great Gil Kane. So I will just go ahead and let you all look at this beautiful artwork of Gil Kane, because it is something to just behold. It is great. Now, I've already done a artist spotlight on Spider-Man in the past featuring that character. You know that I've done one for Steve Ditko and some of the characteristics for him, but I have not done Gil Kane, and I haven't done John Romita Sr. That is coming eventually, and a whole video based on his artwork for Spider-Man. But I would say, if you are trying to figure out exactly one key characteristic of how he draws Spider-Man, you can see right here is that he draws Spider-Man's head very oval. It's like an oval in a way. It's very round. I've noticed that. And he makes the eyes appear mid, not as squinty as Steve Ditko's Spider-Man mask, but it definitely kind of mimics John Romita's mask, which I will go into more detail in another video. So you can at least see the lenses of Spider-Man's mask a little bit clearer when it comes to Gil Kane and how he draws the Spider-Man mask. It's very simplified, which is another thing as to why at first it was hard for me to come to appreciate his artwork, because some of it can be a little simplified. But at other points, as you will notice throughout this issue, is the way that he draws faces. And I think that's the one key characteristic that you need to look for when you're reading an issue with Gil Kane, featuring Gil Kane. And I will show you right here. This is the key thing that I've noticed with every issue that I own that has Gil Kane as the artist. It's the way that he draws faces, especially the nose, always pointed upwards. I've noticed this like in those drug issues of Amazing Spider-Man, issues 96 to 98, when he drew Harry Osborn with the pills. Well, this very much looks very similar to that image of Harry Osborn in the way that he always tilts the head upward. And that's just a key thing that I've noticed, is the way he draws the nose of these characters. I don't know why, but that's always, if I try to guess as to who drew this art, this book, I had no idea who drew this. All I would have to do is turn to this page number 14, and look at this, and I would like, oh yeah, that is definitely Gil Kane. So yes, that is one way in which I have grown to point out and know who the artist is the way that he drew faces. Yes, folks, this is a beautiful copy of Marvel Team Up issue number 17. And of course, Gil Kane is always kind of adapting his artwork, kind of based on the great Jack Kirby in the way that he drew Mole Man. But every artist has their own unique way of drawing these characters. We can't just kind of copy other artists. They have their own unique way. And I definitely, on this issue, appreciate the way that Gil Kane drew these characters here. This is also the second appearance of this villain, Basilisk, here. This is another interesting point, is the way that he draws the eyes of people as well. They're always kind of wide in a way, especially these villains here, and the way that he draws those faces as well. So yeah, those are just some of the key things that I've noticed over time with the great Gil Kane. I definitely recommend y'all read this. This is a great story. They're trying to free Captain Marvel from this prison here. He is trapped inside the Omega Stone. And Basilisk is basically trying to get his hands on it because he's already had the Alpha Stone. He wants to get the Omega Stone. And we are going to kind of end that issue here off on a cliff note, or a cliffhanger rather, because there's a huge explosion. Mole Man is trapped in it, as well as Basilisk. So we leave the issue thinking that both Mole Man and Basilisk died, but of course, no one really stays dead in comic books, except for Uncle Ben and Captain Marvel, I would say. But there you have it, folks. There's just a little featurette of the great Gil Kane and some of the things that I look for when I am reading a book on a title that he drew. So that's just what I wanted to go over today. Hope you liked this little artist spotlight on Gil Kane. And if you have any other artists in mind who you want me to feature in another video, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see y'all later.